So I'll just start again with the lung mechanics model alone. Okay, so what we saw in the previous class was we tried to come out with an simple model for lung mechanics. Okay, so what we basically did to understand lung mechanics is, first we understood there are some basic resistive elements, there is some basic capacitive elements, some basic inductive elements are there. Okay, so in electrically we call it as resistance, whereas we can represent it by a general equation. So general equation is phi is equal to r into okay, so where this zeta is a flow variable similar to our current in our electrical circuit, phi is a effort variable. Okay, so resistance is the ratio of the effort variable to the flow variable. Okay, so similar to resistance, so resistance can be considered as in mechanical systems it be friction, it may be a lag. So all are the different terms of resistance. Similarly capacitance, if you see capacitance, so capacitance in mechanical systems we think it take it as a compliance, we take it as a compliance or stiffness of the spring. Okay, and inertance is another parameter, that is the storage of the kinetic energy. So you have inertance. So that's what we have seen. From this we gave the basic model for the lung mechanics. So you assume your chest wall. Okay, so you have your lungs, so we have our lungs. Okay, so you have the different parts of your lungs. So air enters in this path, air enters in this path, and then it will be moving via the two terminals, and then it will be traveling into this along the path of the lungs. Okay, so here you have at the edge you have the alveoli, which is responsible for the oxygen transmit. Okay, fine. Now we are going to try to get a circuit for this mechanism. So how we represented, so the inlet opening air pressure, I just put it as PAO, the inlet pressure, and whatever be the resistance that is offered in this canal, you can just put it as RS. Okay, so that is a resistance. Then this is the pressure inside your windows, that is inside your chambers. Once you get into the chambers, what is the air? Okay, so that pressure. So again that is having some resistance, that I am just putting it by RP. Okay, and the alveoli pressure, and we have our the exchange of gases takes place, that actually depends upon the compliance of the lungs. Okay, if the lung is able to expand more, then more amount of oxygen translation takes place. If the lung is only able to, so what it depends upon is the compliance of the lung. So the compliance of the lung is given by a factor CL. Okay, then this is the pleura pressure. So pleural pressure is the outer layer of your lung membrane is called pleura. So the pressure exerted. Similarly you have capacitance, I'll just represent it by CW. Okay, and apart from this, all of these pressures are measured with respect to the ambient pressure. I just put it as P naught. All are measured with respect to the ambient pressure P naught. Apart from this, suppose if there is any obstruction in this path, okay, so naturally there will be some resistance effect as well as there will be a capacitance effect. That capacitance effect I am just putting it as a parallel one. This is CS. Okay, this parallel effect I am just putting it as CS. So normal times, normal when the patient is very normal, this CS effect is very minimal. This CS effect will not come into picture at all. But whenever there is a lag in the air, whenever there is some obstruction in this path, then the CS becomes significant. Okay, now this is a simple circuit we have made. So here Q is the actual flow. So internal chambers I just put it as QA. So the flow here is Q minus QA. Okay, so that's where I stopped last class, and we'll just write the equation for this path. Now if you see this closed loop, if I write a equation, so here you can see here QA is like your current, and RP is the resistance. So I can just write, so QA into RP plus, so here you have two capacitance in series, so I'll just put 1 by CL plus 1 by CW. Okay, 1 by CL plus 1 by CW into the current through this path is QA, so it is integral QA of dt. QA of dt is equivalent to this particular thing. Okay, so 1 by CS. In this case, if you see, what is the current through this one? Q minus QA. I can just put it as integral 0 to t Q minus QA dt. Okay, so this is the equation representing this closed loop. Okay, in this loop we have written the equation, that is current into the resistance plus 1 by CL plus 1 by C2 integral of Q minus QA dt is equal to 1 by CS into Q minus QA into dt. Okay, so for this loop I have written. Now I am writing for this loop. Okay, so P naught is essentially 0, that's why we are not including P naught as of now here. So for the second equation I can just put PAO is equivalent to Q into RS plus 1 by CS into 0 to t, it is Q minus QA dt. So these are the two equations. This is my first equation, this is my second equation. Now what we require is, our inlet is PAO, this is the air that is coming inside. Because of this inlet you get a proportional outflow, that is the airflow inside your lungs, that is Q. Okay, we want to get a relationship between PAO and Q. What I required is PAO of S by Q of S. Actually we require a relation PAO of S by Q of S. Okay, to do this what I'm going to do is, we'll take the Laplace transform of these two equations, say first equation and the second equation. So how we are going to do about it? I'll just take up a new page. So I'll just take the first equation. So the first equation, QA into RP. Okay, so RP QA of S plus this 1 by CL plus 1 by CW. Whenever you have an integral, when you take Laplace, it becomes 1 by S. Okay, so it is 1 by S QA of S is equivalent to 1 by CS into S into Q of S minus QA of S. So this 1 by S is common. Okay, so what we'll do is, using this equation we'll try to find QA of S in terms of Q of S. Okay, so we'll sum up all the QA of S of terms together, RP plus 1 by CL plus 1 by CW into 1 by S plus 1 by S into C of S. Okay, so what I'm doing is, these two terms are here, this qa of s term also I'm just bringing about here. It is qa of s is equal to 1 by scs into q of s. Okay, so if I want the qa of s, it is equivalent to, so 1 by scs divided by rp plus 1 by cl plus 1 by cw into 1 by s plus 1 by scs into q of s. So just we'll keep this particular equation so as our third equation. Okay, what I'm doing actually here, we took the first equation here. This first equation I'm just converting into Laplace. This is a Laplace version of it. Okay, so there is no initial condition, so we have taken directly 1 by s. So I have grouped all the qa of s terms together. I have grouped all the qa of s terms together. So I find qa of s in terms of q of s. Okay, now I'll take the second equation. So this is my second equation. So for the second equation, what you're going to do is PAO of S is equivalent to, okay, so this part, so it is Q of S into RS plus 1 by S into CS into Q of S minus QA of S. Okay, this is a Laplace transformation of your this equation PAO, that is this equation we are getting the Laplace transform. Okay, so what we'll do is PAO of S is equal to, I'm just grouping all the Q of S terms together, so RS plus 1 into SCS into Q of S plus, sorry, you'll have a minus here, 1 by SCS into QA of S. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll substitute QA of S that we got in the previous slide. This expression we are going to substitute here. Okay, so what it becomes is RS plus 1 by SCS into Q of S. Okay, so minus 1 by SCS into, I'm going to just take up the equation that we have obtained. Okay, so this equation, so it is 1 by SCS divided by RP plus 1 by CL plus 1 by CW into 1 by S plus 1 by SCS, 1 by SCS. Okay, so this into Q of S. Aதாவது in the last equation we have got a relation between QA of S and Q of S. Okay, so we are going to solve this one. So once for what we can do is, so this this actually is in the denominator. This actually, it is 1 by SCS, it is in the denominator. You cannot cancel it here. You cannot cancel it here. So we have to take it together. We have to take it together. So I'll just put PAO of S is equivalent to, PAO of S is equivalent to, so I'll just put RS plus 1 by SCS plus, sorry, it's a minus, okay, so it is minus, I can just put it as 1 by, so I'll have S square CS square into RP plus 1 by CL plus 1 by CW into 1 by S plus 1 by SCS. Okay, this into Q of S. This is our input, this is our output. Okay, so we require Q of S by PAO of S. Okay, so we'll get an equation something like, if you reduce this, you will get something like S square plus some constant K1S by S square plus K2S plus K3. This is your output. Okay, so you'll get an output like this. You will get an output like this. Okay, we'll try to simulate the system and we'll see what is the effect of the system. Okay, we're going to simulate the system. I'm just going to show you a simulation for this particular system by taking some values. Okay, I'll just take up some values. Okay, this is our model. Okay, this is a model we have taken. So these are the equations. This is the first equation we got, the second equation we got, and finally here they are giving it in different way. We do not worry about this part. So directly we'll go into here. Okay, see here they are taking different values. That is, we are going to simulate this particular lung mechanics. So we have taken RC value, RP value, CL, CW and CS. Okay, so Q of S, if you substitute these values, you will be getting Q of S by PAO of S is S square plus 420S plus divided by S square plus 620S plus 4000. Okay, so this is of the form that we have discussed. Okay, so S square plus K1S by S square plus K2S plus K2, that's the form I gave you. So it fits to this form. Okay, Q of S by PAO of S. Now we are going to simulate this model. To simulate this model, we are going to use Simulink. Okay, we are going to use a Simulink. Fine. So this is our Simulink model, where you have S square plus 420S. The transfer function of the respiratory system is given here. This is your input. Input is your ventilator. We are going to simulate, so you are going to give a ventilator input. So input pressure is PAO. That's the input pressure. Okay, so whatever output you are getting is directly Q versus time. Q is the flow rate. Q is the flow rate. Further, what I'm going to do is, this is I'm plotting the input. I'm trying to plot the input. Input is PAO versus time. Here I'm plotting the output. Output flow rate versus time. Okay, at the same time I want to calculate what is the volume. Okay, what is the volume? So whatever output I'm getting, I'm integrating it. 1 by S, I'm integrating it, that is volume. Okay, so this volume is nothing but it is called as tidal volume. This thing is called as tidal volume. Okay, so we call it as tidal volume. So tidal volume is like whenever you normally breathe in. Okay, whenever you breathe in and breathe out, that volume of air that you normally inhale and exhale is called as tidal volume. Okay, we are going to see this particular response. So what I'm going to do is that ventilator input frequency, I'm just setting it as 1.57 radians per second. So what is the meaning of 1.57 is, it corresponds to 0.25 hertz or 15 breaths per minute. Okay, so that is the average respiration rate. Average respiration rate of human beings is 15 to 20 breaths, so I'm giving 15 breaths per minute. Okay, so the response for this system. Okay, so this is a response that you are actually getting for the system. So this is your PAO. Okay, and here you're getting the Q. This is your Q and this is your volume. This is your volume. Okay, so you'll be able to appreciate one thing here. Q is your it's like your current. Okay, so PAO is like your applied voltage. It's like your applied voltage. Okay, so you can see here your current leads the voltage. This is your PAO. Your current leads the voltage. You can see the leading factor. Your Q leads your PAO. Okay, so when the current leads the voltage, the effect is called as capacitive. The effect is called capacitive. What we infer from here is, at very low frequencies, that is normal breathing rate 1.57 radians per second, which corresponds to 15 breaths per minute. 15 breaths per minute. For that low frequencies, which is dominant, the lung compliance effect is dominant. Okay, so the lung compliance is dominate. Okay, so that lung expand and contract is dominating. Okay, you can see the lung expansion and contraction is dominating. Whereas if you take the flow rate, okay, the flow rate is approximately 0.5 liters. That is the tidal volume. Okay, so approximately it is around 0.4 or something. This is your tidal volume. Fine. So tidal volume is this is your output. Now what you're going to do, we're going to do a simple experiment. Like we are going to increase the input rate. You're going to increase the input rate. So here you'll see what I'm doing is, instead of 15 breaths per minute, I'm just increasing it to 60 breaths per minute. I'm increasing to 60 breaths per minute. What you can see is, this is your input frequency, PAO. This is your PAO, and this is your Q. This represents your Q, and this is your tidal volume. Okay, so if you see in this case, in the previous case, if you see, your Q was leading PAO. Q was leading. See, it comes before. Q comes before PAO. Okay, so you had the capacitance effect. Whereas if you increase the input flow rate, when you increase the input flow rate to 60 breaths per minute, see, proportionately when the input has increased, the output flow is also increased. See, when the input has increased, the output flow is also increased. But now you see it is trying to be in phase with your PAO. Before it was leading, it was moving, now it is moving closely towards in phase. Okay, so கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா PAOவும் Qவும் in phase க்கு மூவ் பண்றதுக்கு மூவ் ஆகுது. Okay, first it was leading, now it is trying to be in phase with your Q. Okay, so that's what happens. And another thing you can observe here is, as you increase your breathing rate, see, the tidal volume is decreased. Tidal volume is decreased gradually. It has very much decreased. Okay, so this is the effect that is happening. In fact, what happens in corona is, due to the corona, whenever they have the problem, what happens is that basically our exchange is taking place via the alveoli. What happens in corona is that alveoli is suppressed. So there is not possible of oxygen exchange. That's why people need an external ventilator. Okay, that's what happens. So tidal volume குறைஞ்சி போச்சு பாருங்க. Tidal volume ஓட rate வந்து குறைஞ்சி போச்சு. Okay, so what I mean to say is, இந்த மாதிரி எப்போ அதிகமாகும்? When this will become high? Only whenever there is a block or some kind of resistive effects. This is called as resistive effect. So at higher frequencies, resistive effects come into picture. At lower frequencies, capacitance effect come into picture. So this is what pulmonologists normally say as frequency dependence of pulmonary resistance and capacitance. Frequency, that is the pulmonary resistance and compliance, depends upon frequency. That is, lung appears stiffer and less resistive as the frequency increases from the normal breathing. Okay, when breathing increases, what happens is that for lower frequencies the lung appears stiffer and less resistive as the frequency. Okay, at go for higher frequencies it becomes more and more stiffer, and it will be having resistive effects. That is, at high frequencies the compliance effect will be less, whereas the resistive effects will be more. Okay, that's the inference. Okay, fine. So what we earlier saw was, so this is two different models. This is called as lumped parameter model. This is called as lumped parameter model. Okay, so lumped parameter model is, you are going to put together everything as a single system and you're studying it. Okay, that's your lumped parameter model. Whereas to study about the effect of each and every variable, say RC, RP, how it changes with all these parameters, you go for a distributed parameter model. This is called as a distributed parameter model. Okay, so what happens in a distributed parametric model is, here you represent the system with the equation. Okay, whatever we have got equation, no, so that equation we have represented here. See here, so 1 by CL plus 1 by CW into, so RP into S. Okay, so this is 1 by S integrator. So the entire system, that is a transfer function of S square plus 420S by S square plus 620S plus 4000. Instead of putting this equation directly, here we are giving in terms of the individual components. See, CS is here, RP is here, CL is here, CW is here. Okay, all the individual elements, see QA, so all the individual elements, see 1 by RC. So individual elements if you put, that's called as a distributed parameter model. So what you can do in a distributed parameter model is, you can check by one, you can give a effect by RC, you can give a value for CS, you can give a value of CL. So by changing the lung compliance, what is the effect? By changing the pleura pressure, what is the effect? By changing the resistance in the internal canal, what is the effect? By putting obstruction, that is by increasing either RS or by increasing your CS, what is the effect? So by this way you will be able to simulate different disease conditions. Okay, so that's the beauty of this particular system. So you have two types of models. One is a distributed parameter model, and second one is a lumped parameter model. These are the two ways we can analyze a given system. So we'll try to see this using Simulink directly. I'm just going to open MATLAB. Okay, I'm just opening up MATLAB. So I'll open up Simulink. Whatever we have seen now in the slide, we'll try to see it really, and we'll see the effect of the tidal volume, how it is going to change, and how your Q is going to be reduced or something like that. Okay, I'm going to open the model. So before opening the model, first I need to set my working directory. So my working directory is documents MATLAB. So I'm just setting the working directory. So now I'll open the file. Okay, so this is our respiratory model. Fine. So I'm going to give the amplitude is 2.5. I'll just give 1.57 radians. 1.57 is the value I'm just giving. So that corresponds to 15 breaths per minute. Okay, so this I'll rename as ventilator. Okay, so I'll just run the simulation. So I've given the transfer function here, so I'll open the output and see. That is, I'm recording the Q output. I'll take all outputs. Are you able to see the full plot? Is the full plot visible?
No, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Now it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is your uh, Q, PAO. This is your PAO, and this is your Q actually. So Q is leading your PAO. Okay, current is leading your voltage. So this leading of voltage, you call it as capacitive effects or the compliance effect. Okay, so what is the value of the tidal volume? So tidal volume is approximately 0.26. 0.26 is the tidal volume. Peak, the peak of tidal volume is 0.26. Okay, now this is the effect. Now what we'll do is that we'll try to increase the frequency, and we'll see what is the output that we are getting. Okay, so instead of 1.57, we'll give it 4 times. Okay, so 4 times will account to 6.28, I think so. So 6.28. Okay, so we'll give a 6.28. 6.28 is correct. So it was 60 by 15 into 1.57. Okay, 6.28. I'll just give apply. Okay, again I'll run the simulation. So this is PAO, this is time, this is what we are doing is we are trying to save the data into a mat file. Whatever data we are getting, we are trying to save it into a mat file. The process of simulation is just running. It is not completed. Yeah, it's still running. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, it's still in running mode. Okay, so what you'll be able to see is after it has stopped running, we'll be able to see that your Q will be almost in phase. It will not be perfectly in phase, it will be almost in phase with your okay, that's your output. We'll auto scale the output so that you can see almost your yellow and pink are in phase. Giving an auto scale. Okay, so previously it was perfectly leading. You can see in the previous case it was perfectly leading. Now in this case it is trying to be in phase with your, it is not perfectly in phase. Okay, before it was perfectly out of phase, now it is perfectly in phase. It is trying to be in phase. So உங்களோட actual phase இங்கே வரணும் கொஞ்சம். It was trying to be in phase. Your yellow is your PAO and this is your Q. Okay, so what happened to the tidal volume? See, since what you can infer from this graph is, as your input has increased, your output has also increased. See the input frequency. So the input is increased, output is also increased. Input frequency and the output frequency, you can see it has increased. What happened to the tidal volume? In the previous case it was around some 0.26. We'll see what is the value. See, it is now reduced. Your tidal volume is reduced. So approximately it is 0.19. Okay, to be very precise, 0.188. It's 189. Okay, so it was 0.286, 256 or some value, 256. Now it has reduced to 0.189. Okay, so this is the effect of increasing the input frequency. That is, if the breathing rate is very high, it will not be able to deliver the required output. Okay, the input rate is very high. Okay, it will not be able to deliver what is the required for that particular patient. Okay, so that's what is depicted by this diagram. Okay, so that's about simple lung mechanics by using our systems.